and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect.
Mike,
people used to look at him and say, oh, this guy is going to be the star in boxing. It didn't really play out that way, but every now and then he reminds us how special he is.
Yeah. Did you think he was really going to beat him up that way?
Yes. I've been told you this. I told you this a minute ago. I said he's not on my level.
Max Kellerman isn't hedging at all. He's made it clear that Shakur Stevenson's most recent showing should be viewed as far more than a simple victory, calling it an all-time level display that belongs in the same conversation as boxing's elite performances.
The truth is, I know what you mean, that Teo was a lights-out puncher at 135 pounds. Once he moved up to 140, it was much more of the footwork and hit you with punches you don't see and win on points than it was the the destructive guy at the lighter weight. Terrence Crawford, guys, posted the following on his social media. Okay, quote, I don't know it all, but what I do know is Shakur Stevenson beating the bleep out of Teofimo Lopez. Now, Shakur Stevenson might box the bleep out of guys. He doesn't really beat the bleep out of it.
By standing firm on parallels to Floyd Mayweather, Kellerman argues that elite technique and precision remain the most powerful forces in the ring. In his view, this moment signals a shift in the sport, and he's fully prepared to stand his ground and challenge anyone who pushes back on that stance.
To make it look real easy tonight, it was it had to be very frustrating for T.O.
Keyshawn, at the party.
Why do you think it was difficult for T.O. to make adjustments to you? Like, why?
Why? I think that I studied them. I've been watching him for years. I seen T.O. when we was in the amateurs. Everything that I seen was there tonight. Like the things that I kind of saw on tape and on film, it was all in front of me tonight. And there is benefits from watching tape.
When we saw Conor Bain in the ring with you and the idea of you two fighting for British fans, it was a bit of a curveball. You now have 4 different weight world titles and Conor's not boxed for a world title. Yeah, what's going on between you two? Why is that a fight that you like?
I'm into big fights. I like big fights. I like big money fights. I like proving that I'm the best, and I like doing things that people say I can't do. There's a lot of people that will say that I'm too little for Conor Bain, and I can't do it. So it makes for a tremendous fight.
And Eddie mentioned that there's quite a few DMs go back and forth between you two. Is it all amicable? Is there a bit of anger going on?
It's gonna be a good beef. I like the beef. I like the story behind it. And it's a true.
What made Kellerman's reaction stand out even more was that he genuinely didn't anticipate this outcome. In the build-up to the fight, Max played the role of the skeptic, consistently cautioning that Shakur was facing a serious test and emphasizing Teofimo Lopez's explosive strength and proven ability to rise.
Have any answer for the lead hand, the jab of Shakur Stevenson. And even before the fight started, you saw Teo come out with the, Jabberwockies, and he was doing a lot of, dancing, and on his face, though, you didn't see kind of the joy and the happy and the smirk that you saw yesterday at the weigh-ins. There was a lot of mind games all week from Teo to Shakur, making him wait, trying to get in his head. It looked like he kind of did at the press conference, but like I've said many times, the press conference does not have any effect on the fight itself, right? The best fighters will show up. When the time comes, they'll adjust, they'll be able to showcase why they're the best. And tonight, Shakur looked a lot more comfortable even in his ring walk, let alone when the fight started. But when it did start, you saw very quickly 2 things. Teofimo Lopez was going to have real problems with the hand speed of Shakur Stevenson, his lead hand, and that Teofimo wanted 2 really specific things early in this fight. Number 1, he clearly wanted to land his big right hand over the top. And again, it was off of 1 or 2 punches, then switch to southpaw and try to land the left hand while covering distance. And it was I won't say basic attack, but it was a fundamental problem with that attack from Teofimo Lopez. He was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away, or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur was taking the outside track. Teo was stepping on the inside lane and then fading to his right side, right into the left hand of Shakur Stevenson, which, by the way, in the first round, Shakur didn't really even throw a backhand. It was just jab. And every time he would touch him with the jab, Tio had to reset. And
when facing elite opponents like Lomachenko. However, once the fight was over, his stance flipped instantly. On live television, Kellerman acknowledged that his earlier concerns missed the mark, not because Teofimo failed to perform, but because Shakur controlled the bout so completely that he never allowed Teofimo the chance to impose his game at all.
Bored by perfection, you aren't watching the sport closely enough.
This had nothing to do with Shakur simply enduring a tough battle. It was a calculated breakdown that made a world-class fighter look outmatched. Max came to realize that his pre-fight breakdown overlooked the most important element of all, Shakur's talent for shutting opponents down entirely. That skill is incredibly
who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who's over there. Whoever they fought at that locker room was going to get it. You understand me? That's just what
common, and has only shown up in a select few fighters across boxing history. Against Shakur, an opponent's strengths don't just fall short, they are erased. Kellerman stressed that Shakur's mental and technical superiority over Lopez was so overwhelming that any sense of threat vanished almost immediately, disappearing by the time the second round was underway.
what's coming into this fight that you wondered was, Williams and Zepeda didn't really give Shakur trouble. In my mind, I was there live watching that fight, and Shakur kind of handled all that adversity from Williams and Zepeda. Handled a lot of adversity there. But the difference in that fight, and this one was, Zepeda was there with combination punching, right? He wouldn't just throw 1 or 2 punches at a time. He would throw 3, 4, and 5. And maybe once in a blue moon, a couple would get through, and Shakur might get touched with something that you usually don't see him get hit with. Teofimo Lopez doesn't fight like that. He fights very selective on the front foot and the back foot. And again, Tio's probably a better back foot fighter than he is a front foot fighter. But he wanted to come out early and make a statement, so he was trying to bring it to Shakur. I think he gave up a little bit of his game too quickly, because in the first round, Tio was throwing heavy right hands over the top. Then that double right hand switch to go to the left hand out of southpaw. And Shakur saw it all early. And even here, some of the post-fight stuff, Shakur was like, I thought he was fast, and he wasn't. Shakur was like, he was way slower than I thought. Tio was reaching a lot. Tio was overstriding a lot. He wasn't bringing his feet with him, and it made it easier for Shakur. He would just frame with his lead hand, keep the distance, which he does such a good job of. If you move forward, he moves back. You cut an angle, he cuts an angle, right? He just mirrors what you do. And the moment you make a mistake or overcommit, he touches you with the lead hand. That's first line of defense. You get past that, hold the left hand behind it. Shakur was schooling him. And again, I said it in the first minute and a half of the stream, I was just like, oh no, this is going to go very badly for Teofimo Lopez. And it did, man. It was just round after round. Tio could not figure out this equation, could not get past the lead hand of Shakur Stevenson. And there were moments where it wasn't just the jab of Shakur, he was sticking the left hand on him. And no, Shakur doesn't have the biggest power in the world, and no, he may not be the most casual, audience-friendly fighter, but he is damn good as a boxer. And he is, I don't want to say Floyd Mayweather-esque, but it's the same formula. When you watch him box, you may not like his style, you may not like that he doesn't, sting and punish people the way you would want to see somebody counterpunch, but I don't know, there's a style.
Lopez was forced to constantly stop, rethink, and restart, never able to find any rhythm. And naturally, no Max Kellerman segment is complete without pushback from Stephen A. Smith, which turned this fight into a perfect example of a long-standing split among boxing fans. Max was locked in on the precision and craft, while Stephen A. focused on the spectacle side of the sport. For more casual viewers, about where one fighter barely takes
life comes at you, it'll come at you in many ways, and you gotta treat it like a champ. That's it. You gotta treat it like a champ. Tell yourself, it's okay. I learned from it, and I treat it like a champ every time. So if you're going through hard times in your life, whether it's from any sports or academics or anything like that, it's okay. You're still a champ.
Throughout watching the fight week, a lot of people were saying that you were in Shakur's head.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like that. Do you think maybe there was a chance that you maybe used up too much energy in the build-up to the fight?
No, not at all. I think honestly, it's just the way things played out, the cards that were at hand. The dealer, I was gambling, and the dealer didn't play my cards right. That's all.
Talk to me about the fight itself. Just What was it like in there? How come you didn't really feel like you could get into the rhythm as such? I mean, just your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I was just honestly too focused on one particular objective, one particular thing, than really enjoying what I could see opening. You know, I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot. So I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left hooks and stuff. I did poorly on not listening to my team. That's on me. Take it on the chin. You know, my team did a phenomenal job. They had great guidelines. They had great instructions. I just didn't.
Clean shots can feel uneventful or even dull, and Steven voiced that frustration, calling for more exchanges, intensity, and explosive moments. Max refused to budge, and the discussion quickly intensified. He insisted that what unfolded in the ring was boxing at its absolute peak, explaining that the absence of a knockout actually highlighted how extraordinary the performance was. Completely controlling...
Man, let me tell you, Shakur moved so well. He won every round, and he was just a step ahead with quickness and just with, just the plan himself. Great plan coming in, and he did well. Congratulations to him.
He won all the rounds? Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the fourth round.
After the fourth round?
Yeah.
Teofimo, it seems like he couldn't just get it going. Like he just tried differently going up and down. The counters were getting him.
Yeah.
What could he done differently tonight?
I don't know. It's difficult to box against a great mover like that. And, he tried. He definitely tried. His dad was emotional. He wanted him to do better, but, this is boxing.
At least you look at Shakur as a type of fighter who go up to welterweight and challenge like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, those fighters as well too, and beat them.
Yeah, he has that possibility. He can do that. I don't know about moving up weights and different...
A dangerous puncher like Teofimo Lopez, to the point where his reluctance to even throw is, in Max's view, more remarkable than a knockout that comes down to timing or chance. His argument was simple. This wasn't inactivity or boredom. It was a complete shutdown of an opponent's offense, and if that's uninteresting, then the deeper layers of the sport are being missed.
Masterclass beyond epic proportions. I thought Shakur might do something like this, but even this exceeded my expectations. I thought it may be, if Shakur had a really good night, make it look easy and win 9-3, 10-2. This was 12-0, 11-1, and I mean, it was next level type stuff. Teo was trying everything. The various wrinkles to Shakur's style are unbelievable. I mean, I know people like to say he runs. That's because they don't understand what they're watching. I rarely, in my mind, have I ever seen Shakur literally run. Is he defensive? Yes, because he doesn't open up into crazy offensive routines. Okay, yes, so that makes him defensive, but he never really runs. He's a master of position. I'm always trying to talk about and explain to people that being a master of position is so important, not breaking your position. And what I mean by that is when you make a defensive move, you're not all over the place, to where now you can't punch off any move you make. When your position is great, it doesn't necessarily mean you punch every time you make a defensive move, but every defensive move you make leaves you balanced enough and in a position enough to be able to punch if you want to, if you have the option to punch. And your opponent sees that, and that's why your opponent doesn't attack as aggressively. Sometimes they do get countered, sometimes they don't. You keep them guessing. But your position is always a position that you can punch off of. When guys aren't great at position, even when they make guys miss or whatever, they'll wind up in contorted position situations where they're not able to punch. That's not a really great defensive fighter, and a lot of times they wind up running and going to flight and so on and so forth. That leads to those kind of lapses.
Conversation went even further when Max later spoke with boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. during the asterisk inside the ring asterisk segment. That's where the breakdown moved beyond raw athleticism and into the mental side of the fight. Roy, who built his career on outsmarting and embarrassing opponents, explained how Shakur won the battle psychologically. It wasn't simply about being quicker on his feet, it was about processing information at a higher speed. According to Roy, the moment Teofimo made the slightest move, Shakur had already anticipated it and repositioned, leaving nothing to react to.
Stevenson just ended Teofimo Lopez's career. Shakur Stevenson just made a two-time lineal champion look like a complete amateur. Teo's footwork was trash and disgusting.
A 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
Teo's combination punching was trash and disgusting.
A 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
Shakur Stevenson is a defensive wizard. The man's IQ on the offensive end of the game of boxing is at another level. This man, Shakur Stevenson, is a generational talent, and he whooped that man Teo from pillar to post to pillar, and he could have stopped him. This looked just like Floyd Mayweather versus Arturo Gatti, and I told y'all this how it's going to look. That man, Shakur Stevenson, is at another type of level, and that's bad karma for Teo for saying all that racist stuff. Lord child, congratulations, Shakur Stevenson. Get Teo out of boxing.
By the time the fight reached the middle rounds, the irritation was written all over Lopez's face. He appeared unsure of himself and completely out of answers. Max noted that this type of defeat cuts deeper than a knockout ever could. When someone gets stopped, they can chalk it up to one perfectly timed shot. But staying alight, giving everything you have, and still being unable to land anything meaningful on your opponent is mentally crushing. Together, they broke down how the psychological pressure unfolded. Shakur didn't manage distance only to stay safe. He used it as a tool to bait Lopez into forcing openings, which were calmly countered. Over time, it became a methodical and draining erosion of Lopez's belief in himself.
A masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful. He heard his father say in the corner, "What happened to your fast hands? That shit didn't work, man."
So overall, like, just given the styles and in boxing so well, like, was there any way that Teo could have put on a better performance, a better plan, and gotten a better result?
No, I don't think whatever he would have brought to the table would have worked, man. Shakur just got a great boxing mind. That's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and you want to see put his mind to it, he's gonna get the job done.
What is it gonna take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from that kid, man.
Yeah.
If anyone thought Max was exaggerating, the reaction from boxing royalty quickly shut that down. Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis fully echoed the praise and spoke without hesitation. He said Shakur's movement was so sharp and controlled that he probably swept every round on the scorecards. Let that sink in. Against a fighter as accomplished and dangerous as Teofimo Lopez, Lennox couldn't even point to a brief stretch, let alone a full round, where Lopez truly looked competitive. Performances that lopsided simply don't happen at this tier of boxing.
You know he's looking for one shot. He's doing that chest for one shot. There you go for that. Keep that jab on him, Chad. Keep that jab on him, Chad. His feet too slow. His feet too slow. There you go. There you go. Jab, jab. There you go. Poke. Easy work. Easy work. It's levels and he ain't on your level. Let him in the body to go down. Don't wait on it, Teo. Don't wait on it.
Then there's Paulie Malignaggi, who described Shakur's showing as a masterclass on an almost unimaginable scale. Paulie admitted that while he anticipated a win for Shakur, the sheer smoothness and control with which he achieved it was extraordinary. This recognition from seasoned veterans carries real weight. It confirms that the comparisons to Floyd Mayweather aren't just flashy commentary. The fighters who have faced the sports elite are witnessing exactly what Max highlighted, a boxer who has essentially cracked the code of the sweet science.
What did you think of Shakur's performance
He
tonight?
did what he had to do, man. There's always room for improvement. I think he had a lot of stuff he could have did, but he's so talented and gifted, man. You also got to trust what he's seeing in there. We on the outside, but I think he put on a tremendous performance, and obviously, the level he's at, you always look for things he could do better,
What did you see from the outside that he might?
I'm just saying, I think it was a lot of body work and stuff like that. He could have touched on, but again, he's in there, so he's seeing stuff, he's feeling the punches. We not. So you got to trust what he's seeing.
Teofimo just couldn't get going.
He put on well, he tried to get going. He just wasn't allowed to. So it's just the distance and range that Shakur has just perfected throughout the years, and then making him pay when he does that discourages him to not want to punch anymore. And I think he was out of answers in the first round. Honestly, I think he didn't really have any answers. When Tio starts doing little certain things with his hands and starts playing the clown game, he out of answers. He's down to just one shot. So Shakur just stayed focused, stayed locked in. And, you know, he was at 4th division now. 26, 30, 35, 40.
How good is Shakur? I interviewed Terrence Crawford and he said he could be the greatest of all time.
We don't know. He's not done yet. You know, he's not done yet. He's a great for sure. How great? We gonna see. You know, he got a lot. He can box as long as he wants to box. He don't take punishment, and he's a master boxer. You know what I mean? So, just excited for him, man. Happy for him, man. You know, it's hard for me to see my brothers fight when I'm not fighting. That's harder to me than to actually fight because I can't help it. So I'm just happy it's over, man. I'm happy he got the win and get home with him.
There's a common critique that Shakur is a runner or that his style bores viewers, but his latest fight completely dismantles that idea. Experts clarified that Shakur isn't running away. He's controlling space with new perfect defensive positioning. That's a huge distinction. Running suggests fear or avoidance, while Shakur stays inches from danger, perfectly placed so he's untouchable. His crisp, precise jab was highlighted as the weapon that consistently broke up anything.
From Shakur 119, 109. A lot of people predicted it. The Bureau is saying that he would just be too good.
Yeah.
Like he didn't really have to.
Listen, I was fully confident he'd win the fight. I didn't think he'd win it as widely as that. I thought, you know, I mean, look, Tio's a great fighter. He made him look average in there. And that's because Shakur is so good, his IQ is so good, his footwork is so good. I actually think he could have stopped Tio if he would have pushed it on the gas a little bit, but didn't need to. It was so easy. He's a 4-division world champion at 28 years of age. Phenomenal.
What was His Excellency saying ringside watching it?
Just that he's so good, you know, and I think sometimes people think that you know, Tio can do a little bit more, but like every time he tried to, he was just getting countered, peppered, and yeah, it was phenomenal to watch.
Teofimo tried to set up. This level of tactical brilliance keeps opponents off balance, unable to plant their feet and execute their strategy. In the first round, Teofimo attempted to impose himself and push the pace, but every aggressive move was met with sharp counters, quickly discouraging him. It wasn't a lack of effort, it was the cost of every attempt that kept him in check. Labeling this style as boring is just a shortcut for viewers missing the mastery of a fighter who refuses to let his opponent dictate the fight.
Fight ended, and again, it was a one-sided, dominant fight for Shakur Stevenson, and I don't want to take that moment away from him. He absolutely smashed it. Like I said, he may be damn well the best boxer in the world right now. He may not have the accolades of the best. That would be somebody like an Alexander Usyk. Then again, you know, Shakur's a 4-division world champion. I know I'm one of the people that always clamor about who you beat, not how many belts you won. I think it's far more impressive to talk about the names on your resume and what those names actually equate to versus I got this belt, this belt, this belt, this belt at this division, this division, this division, and the names on the resume don't add up. This was the first massive win for Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez was a pound-for-pound guy. Now, does that put him in accomplishments in the same place as Alexander Usyk? Or, I mean, Terrence Crawford's retired now, but even like a Canelo Alvarez or some of these guys, no. Right? Now, yeah, in a way, no. Shakur does not have those same accomplishments. And his style is not tailored for fan-friendly watching all the time, right? Like an Usyk, like an Inoue. But he may be, if not just as good as them, better. I mean, name the fighter that's going to take down Shakur Stevenson right now at 140, 147 pounds. Who is it? 135. Who is it? People are saying Tank Davis. I don't know, man. After watching that Lamont Roach fight, I know Tank's got stuff going on, you know, the law and everything else. I don't know if he'll ever box again, but Tank Davis, that's who it's going to be. Then you have Conor Benn come into the ring, and listen, I love Conor Benn. I think he's one of the biggest things boxing needs right now, an explosive, fiery guy, fights with the heart on his sleeve. He's a dog in there. Even if he loses, he's going to make a fight an absolute war, and he's entertaining to watch. But can anyone seriously look at me and say that Conor Benn is going to have the skills to pay the bills when it comes to Shakur Stevenson? Do we confidently go, yeah, oh, that's the matchup we want to see? I think Shakur would probably do the same thing to Conor Benn, and again, I love Conor.
Scene after the fight was tough for Teofimo Lopez. Usually full of swagger, he appeared thoroughly humbled. In his post-fight interview, he attempted to remain composed, acknowledging that his strategy didn't work and that Shakur had earned the victory. Still, subtle hints of frustration emerged. he brought up dealing with an injured eye during the fight. It was a small, almost instinctive way to justify some of the difficulties he faced, but he never leaned on it as a full excuse.